Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are just a couple of months away from EA Sports College Football 2025, the return of the NCAA football franchise. Every Tuesday night we play NCAA 14 revamped. It all started with NCAA 13 because that was my favorite version of the game. It was a way for us to get together as a community, hang out, talk Tennessee football, recruiting, transfer portal, whatever it was, but we also played a little NCAA football. What's your favorite version of the game? My go-to is still 2013. I switched to revamp because they've got the updated rosters. We could play with Nico. They've got Smoky Gray. They've got dark mode. We have a lot of fun on Tuesday nights, but now we're just a couple of months away from EA Sports College Football. They put this tweet out in February of 2021. After 11 years, an 11-year absence, EA Sports College Football is back. Look, we live in the Wild West, the NIL era. You go back to 2013, that summer, the last version of the game, all over player likeness without compensation. Now NIL, this thing is legal, this thing is happening, and there are a lot of news, a lot of rumors floating around. Matt Brown, the writer of the Extra Points newsletter, was recently on with JD Bickel. They were talking about some of the news. They were talking about some of the rumors, and a certain possible cover athlete was mentioned. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about it, but as always, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you. We talk with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Again, NCAA night every Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out for that. Always having a good time on those Tuesday nights. Once July rolls around, we're going to move right in to EA Sports College Football 2025. But let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the news and some of the rumors because Tennessee is involved here. And it got me a little excited when I heard that with JD Bickel. We're going to get into that clip in just a second. But I want to start with this article from Fox Sports. Current players will reportedly be featured on the covers of EA Sports College Football 2025. You look back at previous versions of the game, because of NIL wasn't a thing, right? Player compensation wasn't a thing at that time. So it was usually a player from the previous season. And there had been rumors, there had been grumblings about Nick Saban possibly being on the cover of EA Sports College Football 2025. That is not the case. It will be current players. Could we see a certain player at the University of Tennessee on the cover? We're going to get into that in just a second. It says here, EA Sports will embrace the current era of college football on the cover of EA Sports College Football 2025. Current college football players will be the cover athletes for the upcoming video game. There will be multiple cover athletes for multiple versions of the games. I think that's smart. Probably depending on where you're at in the country will be the cover that you get. And I know it's not as big of a deal now because it's 2024. Who really goes into a store? Who goes to GameStop, right? Who's in a GameStop picking up the game, midnight release, all that stuff? No, we just download it on the PS5 or the Xbox One and we go about our business. But it's still good for publicity. It's still good for buzz if you can get one of your players on the cover of EA Sports College Football. Goes on to say this will mark the first time that EA Sports will have current college players grace the cover of its college sports video game. During its first iteration of college football video games, EA Sports would typically select a college football star who went to the NFL over the offseason to be able to be the cover athlete of NCAA football due to the rules at the time preventing active college football players. Now it goes on down here, says after a 10-year hiatus, many speculated that the cover would honor past stars. That is not the case. There was also rumors here about Nick Saban. Not going to happen. So we go down and they start to speculate on some of the players who could have possibly been on the game. Joe Burrow, Devontae Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Colorado's Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Let's go take a look. Again, Matt Brown was on with JD Bickel just recently, and he was asked specifically about the cover. Let's take a listen to what he had to say earlier this week.
Right. There are multiple covers. There's multiple athletes, and I can share without getting in trouble here, is that those athletes all play different positions and they come from different power conferences. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that there's 4 covers for 4 power conferences. I'm saying that there's multiple athletes, multiple covers, multiple power leagues, but there's only one quarterback. So you could theoretically have a Big 12 quarterback and then an SEC edge rusher and then power
what?
conferences. I'm saying that there's multiple athletes,
multiple
covers,
multiple covers,
multiple power leagues, but there's only one quarterback.
Only one quarterback. Got it.
So you could theoretically have a Big 12 quarterback.
You could have a Big 12 quarterback.
then an SEC edge rusher.
An SEC edge rusher. Multiple covers, multiple athletes, only one quarterback. You could possibly have an SEC edge rusher. Now, who would you say the best edge rusher in the SEC is right now? You know, we've seen all the hype, all the buzz because of the NFL draft. You can go right here to on3.com over at VolQuest. They've got the article, Where Tennessee's James Pierce Landed in ESPN's First 2025 NFL Mock Draft. It's all the talk throughout. Of course, you're coming off the NFL draft. You're already speculating on 2025. I saw one prediction that if James Pierce was eligible for the draft this year, he would have gone 8th. He would have been a top 10 draft pick coming off of his sophomore season. How much more can he do in his junior season going into that 2025 NFL draft? This article here from Grant Ramey at VolQuest says James Pierce is projected to be a top 5 pick in 2025, according to the first mock draft release by ESPN. Tennessee's star pass rusher has been projected as high as the number 1 overall pick by Pro Football Focus and has 7-to-1 odds. 7-to-1 odds to be the top pick. When is the last number 1 pick that Tennessee's had in the NFL draft? I made a video on this last week. You got to go back to Peyton Manning. You've only had 2 number 1 picks in the history of the football program at the University of Tennessee. How big would it be for James Pierce to get that number 1 pick? How big would it be for James Pierce to be on the cover of EA Sports College Football 2025 after an 11-year hiatus? When the game returns, Tennessee is on the cover. I think it is huge. Goes on to say here, the draft analyst Jordan Reed said Pierce has a rare combination of bend and closing speed. He's a scheme versatile defender who had 20.2 pressure rate, 3rd in FBS. 10 sacks, 18.5 tackles for loss last season. He was especially great on 3rd down. The Panthers need an explosive edge rusher after trading Brian Burns to the Giants this offseason. ESPN projected Georgia quarterback Carson Beck to be the number 1 overall pick ahead of Georgia edge rusher Michael Williams, LSU offensive tackle Will Campbell. Pierce on Monday was given 7-to-1 odds to be the number 1 pick by Bet Online behind only Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, Beck, and Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. So when you look at the SEC, and I get it, a lot of you guys are going to talk about, ESPN hates us, the national media hates us, we're not going to be represented on this game. What better representation than James Pierce to be on the cover of EA Sports College Football 2025? Matt Brown on with JD Piquel, they talked about a full reveal of the game is coming in May. Going to answer some questions about gameplay, also features in the game itself. They're expecting that sometime in the middle of May. There's a lot of chatter about this game with recruiting and NIL and the transfer portal and how they're trying to balance all of that because they want it to be realistic, but they don't want it to be too much of a grind where you can't play the game because you're too busy worried about the transfer portal. That's why coaches are getting paid $10 million is because the way they have to recruit their own football team. Said there's going to be likely multiple broadcast crews. You're going to have ESPN. You're going to have the College Game Day crew. Will we see Fox? Will we see CBS, ABC? How many broadcast crews are they going to have? But again, the big topic for me was the cover athletes, different positions, different conferences. Will James Pierce, was that a slip of the tongue? Was that a little inside look? What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section and let me know. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is also going to be in the description below. Want to give a quick shout out to the members of the channel. You are who give me the opportunity to do this full time. I could not do it without your financial support. If you want to think about helping the channel, hit that join button. It's right beside subscribe. You can do that for as little as $1 per month. Just $1, you get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But again, more importantly, you are supporting this channel. We say all the time, for the fans, by the fans. It's also fan funded. So I'm grateful to every single one of you that leaves a comment with that power T beside your name. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.